What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Morning Hookah Show. I am Matt, the dude with coffee in one hand and a hookah in the other hand. And today we are joined by somebody very special. We're joined by Crystal from Fakher. Fakher, how do you pronounce Fakher? I've never been able to do it well, and I get made fun of quite often.
I can't pronounce it that well either. I say Fakher when I really try to butcher it. So Fakher.
There you go. That sounded good. That I would believe you if that's what you told me it sounded like. I think we're just going to stick with AF, at least I am, to try and alleviate anybody making fun of me, basically. But yes, we are joined by Crystal. It's so nice to have you here joining us today on the Morning Hookah Show. What we're going to be doing this week is we're going to be talking about all things AF. We're going to try and get into the nitty gritty. I'm going to do what I can to get out some of those secrets. I'll see what I can do. Are we going to be able to get some of those juicy secrets out of you?
Sure. Give it a shot.
All right, I'll do whatever I can. Let's go ahead and do a little brief introduction, if we can, with yourself, though. What is it exactly that you do at AF?
So I am a brand ambassador. There's a lot that goes into our roles because there's a few of us. There's three of us based here in Southern California and one in New York. And what we do is go to lounges, introduce new flavors, maybe introduce flavors that a lot of lounges or consumers don't know about, have tasting events. We've also worked in legislative stuff in regards to LA City, the state, and federal level. A little bit of everything, to be honest. We're just the people on the street that want to, spread the word of AF, even though everyone knows who we are. We just want to have that relationship with the lounges and the consumers on a more personal level.
That's very cool. It sounds like a very fun job. A lot of stuff to do. It's never fun to only do the one thing or only focus on the one thing. So have a very broad amount of different things to do with inside of that is always a lot of fun. And I recently went to a tasting event actually that was held in Las Vegas, and it was a blast. It was a ton of fun. It's always cool to see brands go out and really try to go directly to the consumer, right? Go directly to the enthusiast or the general public and be like, hey, these are the new things that you may not know that we're doing, or just to introduce them in a general sense, which is, I think, a really good thing. It's one way that I got introduced to the new stuff that you guys are doing with the craft brand. Obviously, last year at the Expo is when it had the big coming out party and everything. And ever since then, I've been heavily interested in all the stuff coming out. And then the three new flavors that have recently come out have been super exciting. And that was a good way for me to get introduced to these flavors, find out exactly what it is that I wanted to try, find out exactly what it is they tasted like. I mean, I'm smoking right now the mulberry wine, and I don't know of anybody else that's doing mulberry wine. So to be able to try that, especially at the tasting event, was absolutely fantastic. It was a lot of fun, obviously, there as well. But we're going to be talking about all sorts of fun stuff. So before we get too far into that, let's go ahead and talk about you. Who are you exactly, and how did you get involved in this crazy hobby that we all enjoy so much about smoking hookah?
So I started smoking when I was 18. I don't remember where I smoked. I remember me and my friends were like, let's go to a hookah lounge. And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. And they had been into hookah for a while, and that was my first time. So I had gone and we shared a hookah, and it was great. I remember it was minty or fruity, but it was such a vibe. The atmosphere was great. There was people talking and smoking, and it's just it made you feel like you were just in someone's living room, or just connecting with your friends. And so that's really what I liked about hookah, is that it's really community based, and it's it's just people talking to one another. You really get to understand people and just hang out. And then even you get to meet new people. If you go by yourself, every time I go by myself somewhere, I always end up meeting new people. And so it's just really community based, and I really enjoy that. And so when the opportunity came up to work with AF, I jumped on right away.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, something that I definitely really enjoy about hookah is that it is so very much community based. I mean, you don't really hear a lot of experiences about people that talk about how they're a loner and they don't do anything and they don't communicate with anybody, and they, how else do you get into hookah besides going to these hookah lounges and being around people and enjoying the environment and the time with other people as well. Very rarely do you hear about the one person that's like, I found this thing in my grandma's house and she said it was a lamp, and it turns out it wasn't a lamp, it was a hookah. Like that's not how people usually find out about hookah. I'm sure there's that one exception, so I don't want to say that never happened. Otherwise, I'm going to get a comment being like, yeah, that's exactly how I got into this. All right, well, usually we go out to hookah lounges, and it's always a very exciting time. My first time smoking, I was in college. Me and my friends heard about a hookah lounge. We didn't know what it was, so we decided to go out and find out exactly what it was, and we had this great time. First thing I ever smoked was Fakher watermelon, and ever since then I was like, man, I want to get into this. I want to learn more about it. I want to see what else there is to offer. There's just this whole plethora of things that surround hookah smoking. It's not just the pipe, and it's not just smoking. It's also the environment and the people around it and stuff. I don't have a very big local community to me here in small town Burley, Idaho, but I'm able to connect with so many people over the internet, Instagram and Facebook and YouTube as well. It's just been so interesting to meet all these people. I've literally traveled the United States to smoke hookah. I went to New York one time and people were like, what are you going to New York for? And I was like, just smoke hookah. And I got weird looks, but I had a good time when I was in New York smoking hookah. So that's what matters, is the time that you spend around a hookah with other people is always a fun time. Some of the best conversations I've ever had have a hookah right in the middle of it. It's a lot of fun.
Guys, when you're with friends and smoking hookah, I've been in a lounge. I said, oh, I'll get you here for like an hour. And then I end up being there for like 3 hours, just talking it up, really getting to know my friends and just having like deep conversations.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this wonderful hookah thing, obviously. What is something that you enjoy smoking? You don't remember exactly what it was that was your first smoke, obviously, but what is stuff that you enjoy smoking nowadays?
So now I smoke mint and double apple. Those are my favorites. But of course, if I'm out and about, I like to try new things. Smoke or crafted batch. I'll have a smoke and I'll share with everybody. So it just depends on what I'm doing, who I'm with. If I'm having dinner, I may have a different flavor, whereas I'm having drinks or, having tea or like a salad. It really just depends. But my go-to flavors are mint and double apple for sure.
Double apple flavors. I'm not someone who doesn't like double apple. It's not usually the first thing that I tend to go to, but I do know that a lot of people love smoking double apple around the world. I mean, it's one of those flavors that everybody knows about. It's a traditional flavor. It's something that I think a lot of people associate hookah with, that kind of anise flavoring and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on the number 4, which is the Fakher with double apple, which is the chili oil and mint in there as well? I know people that swear by that flavor.
So it's a favorite here, especially in Southern California. People associate it with the Mexican candy. So it's like that, lollipop with like the watermelon and like the heat on top. And so that people really
tahini on it and stuff. There's that little bit of tahini on there to give it a little bit of spice. And it's interesting because you really can taste a little spice in that mix. It's so interesting.
Yeah, and also it depends on like your taste buds and how long the hookah has been going for. But there's times where I get more chili in the front, and other times I get more apple. So it really the flavors. The cool thing about these is that the flavors really develop. Like the longer you smoke, and even what flavors you typically smoke, so your taste buds kind of react to it differently and pick up different flavors within the batch.
Yes, I completely agree. That's one thing that I've enjoyed about trying. I really gravitated when I first started smoking the craft batch of this stuff towards the grapefruit and the passion fruit, because I like really sweet flavors usually. I'm a big fan of those types of flavors, and it was very interesting because I've been smoking Fakher grapefruit for years. I mean, that's just one of my go-to flavors. I just absolutely adore it. And to try it with that little bit of tartness that the passion fruit also brings on as well, it's been very nice. The flavor pairings that you have inside these craft batches have been very interesting to try. I'm very excited to see what else there might be. So let's go ahead and use that as a little bit of a segue and talk a little bit about what this whole episode is about AF, about trying to find out what is happening in the year 2020 and the exciting things that are going on. Obviously, something that always gets a lot of attention, as it very well should, is the Hookah Worldwide Expo happening in Las Vegas. As long as the world doesn't burn itself down, which I don't think it will, I'm pretty confident that we'll be around in June to go all to the Expo. Super exciting. But is AF going to be at the Expo this year?
We are going to be there. I'm very excited. We have one of the center booths. So I didn't get to go last year. I'm excited to go this year and meet everybody in the industry, but also just, our fans and all Shisha enthusiasts. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited.
Very nice. So now's the time where I'm going to do the best interviewer. I'm going to change my hat a little bit and see if I can get some of these details out of you. So we know that last year at the Expo is when the big coming out party for the craft brand came out, the crafted batch from AF. What can we maybe expect to see this year at the Expo?
So last year it was exclusively AF crafted batch. And we released those 3 flavors. This year, you'll see, I think, a mixture of everything. I can't give too many secrets away. You'll just have to go to the Expo and find out. Ooh. But we're really excited about what we're doing, especially with the launch of our new branding, even the launch of our new website. We're really trying to promote the new look of Fakher or AF.
I like that. I like the modernization of the different things that are happening. I was a big fan of the branding of the craft brand with just the AF, the sweet AF, the cool AF. I don't know. It was something very simple, but also I thought very well done. Honestly, it was like, oh, well, that's a no-brainer. How come that's never happened before? I really enjoyed that. So I know you can't get into the details. I'm going to do my best to you just answer what you're able to answer, obviously.
Keep trying.
I'm gonna try. Should we expect to maybe see some new flavors from AF at the Expo this year?
So, the crafted batch is numbered, right?
Yes.
So there's 5, 86, 22. So there's 6 of them, and there's a lot of numbers out there that we haven't covered.
There's a lot of numbers in between those spaces, is what you're saying.
Right.
Very nice. Okay. I can take that. I like that answer. What is there any chance that we'll see a new product? Maybe not tobacco related or anything like that. Is there any chance that we may see some sort of new product from AF? It's been a long time since we've seen. I know you're not going to tell us we're going to get a new hookah or anything. I get that completely. But just in general, should we expect something exciting in the terms of just general use products, maybe?
You're killing me here. You'll see a ton of exciting things at the Expo in regards to what exactly you're going to have to wait and find out.
All right, I like that. The salesmanship in you is top notch. I just want to say, those are the perfect answers. Anybody watching this right now, for your bosses over at AF, they're like, man, these are the perfect answers right there. That's exactly, yes. You want to show up to the Expo and see it. That's I hope everyone is able to attend the Expo this year. I'm very excited. Every year it's grown a little bit. I went to the Expo number 2 and I went to 3, and 3 was just bonkers in comparison to 2. So I'm really excited for number 4 to see everything that's going to be happening there, obviously. And then just Las Vegas in general is always just a fun time to be. I think it's a good place for the Expo. I mean, it'd be cool to see it travel, go to different states and locations and stuff. But having it in Las Vegas, I think, is its own selling point to me personally. I love going to Vegas. I'm just, I don't know. I like losing my money, I guess. I don't even know the reasoning behind it. I just enjoy Vegas. All right, so.
Any excuse for Vegas is a good excuse.
Yeah. So I'd like to hear if you're able to get into this at all. I don't know how much you are involved in actual flavor creating of any kind, or if you know about what goes into creating new flavors. Not necessarily new flavors that we haven't heard about yet, but just in general, even the craft brand blend, for instance. What kind of things goes into creating a new flavor that eventually comes out from AF?
So I don't know if you know that we're headquartered in Ajman. And so I actually got the opportunity to go last year. We went, a whole bunch of us all over the world. We went to Dubai for our training. It was amazing. And we got to tour the facility, and we have this like innovation lab. And that's where like all the cool stuff happens. And, you know, really like, I don't want to say mad scientists, but we really like everything kind of goes on in there. Whatever, you know, we think, we kind of like just create, and then we'll see if it's, you know, possible to release, to not release. It's just a lot of experimenting and a lot of fun. I'm not directly involved in that, but, you know, being there in that like innovation lab is pretty cool.
That would be fantastic. That would be yes, mad scientist, I think, is the that's what I assume. Just everyone just like laughing the whole time, just like mixing flavor cocktails, just being like, this will go into this and this will go into this. And then a little puff of smoke happens, and then a new flavor is born. That's like, you know, the stork flies over and drops it, and then it's there, right? That's what I'm assuming happens, right?
No, for sure. That happens with everything.
That was my expectation. That's super cool. Being able to travel the world and seeing AF in different areas besides like the United States and stuff like that had to be very interesting. What are some of those differences between the way that the rest of the world either perceives, smokes AF in comparison to America and stuff?
So I haven't really traveled too far outside the US, but I did get the opportunity to go to Dubai with my other, I guess, colleagues. And so it was the US that was there, Europe, it was, the UK, Saudi, Egypt, Spain, and Iraq. And so there's all of us all over the world. And so it's really cool to meet all them, and they got to share what goes on in their markets and their countries. And one interesting story that really stuck out with everybody, I think it's in Iraq, that there's like, so you've been to, are there Sonics in Idaho?
There are Sonics. We do have some things out here.
Well, I don't, In-N-Out?
We don't have In-N-Out, no. There might be one in Boise now. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I do know what it is, though. I do know what In-N-Out is.
Well, that's why I asked, because I don't know what restaurants are regional. But anyways, it's kind of like a Sonics where you drive up and they attach hookahs on the side of the windows. And so each person gets their hookah, and you're just chilling in your car as if you were ordering a burger or some fries.
That sounds absolutely amazing. A friend of mine is actually from Kuwait, and something that they do there all over, I'm sure in like a lot of these Middle Eastern countries and stuff have these things as well, but when he goes to get his car washed, and inside the place where he waits for the car wash to happen, they have hookahs in there. So as you wait for your car wash, you get a hookah as well, and that just sounds fantastic. I don't know why that hasn't caught on in the USA. AF should pioneer that. We should see lots of AF car washes everywhere. I like this idea.
I'm taking notes.
That's really cool. That kind of stuff you just don't see. It's a different mentality when it comes to hookah smoking. In America, it really is still very niche, right? Like we're very deep inside of smoking culture, but like we're way below the comparison of like, you know, cigars or pipe tobacco or cigarettes, which I would prefer to be in. I like where hookah is sitting at the moment in the sense where it's not relatable to those things. You know, I want to keep as far away as we can from stuff like cigarettes and stuff, because it's not a cigarette. It's hookah. It's its own thing. It's flavored. It's community driven and stuff like that. Like you don't have the same experience passing a cigarette around between a group of people. Don't do that, guys. You use your tips when you smoke hookah. Don't pass cigarettes. I don't know about that.
No, I definitely agree with you. Hookah is super community based, and it's just you can't really compare it to like smoking cigarettes or even to vaping. It's different. I think it's going to be here for it's been here forever, and it's going to continue to be here. And I think it's just going to keep evolving, and hopefully we get to grow the hookah community, because it is a lot of fun. And I think it's important to have a place to where, you know, you can be with your friends and be with family and share, ideas and thoughts and things like that.
Yes, I completely agree. And I think that with AF pushing the boundaries with these things like craft blends and stuff like that, definitely helps. We don't want to have the market become stagnant and just see the same things over and over and over again. Innovation is what helps drives us and what helps build new things happening all the time, which is always very exciting. That's why we are excited to see what exactly is happening inside AF, because you guys are pioneers of what it is to mean hookah especially in America and stuff like that. It was one of the first brands that came over, one of the very first ones that actually started to push what it is that it is today and stuff. So those different things are super exciting. Where's some places that people can go to find out new information that AF has going on? Is there, you said something about a new website, is that true?
Yeah, so we have our new website. It's super cool. There's a section where you can go in and build your own crafted batch, but like build your own mix. And so I think when I go to lounges, people are like, "Oh yeah, we love your flavors. We have these," and then it's like 10 flavors. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, well, have you tried plum? Have you tried energy drink? Have you tried fresh?" And they're like, "What? You have those flavors?" And it's shocking that, we're obviously known for like our mint is amazing, double apple, watermelon mint. Like, those are our well-known flavors, but there are also other ones that aren't really on the forefront that are really good. And so I think with the new website, it gives fans an opportunity to go in and see what those flavors are and create their own mix, and it's really interactive. So I think that's cool. That's one part of the website, and the other part is it's like my shisha stories, and so it's really just sharing stories from all over the world about hookah and lounges, enthusiasts, businesses. So it's really cool. We're trying to really bring the community together.
Oh, that's very exciting. I need to check this. I did not know that there was a new website. So that's something that I'm definitely going to be peeking on over at. It's a good place to go for a hub for new things. You guys are, it seems like at least, you guys are becoming more active on things like social media, things like Instagram and stuff like that as well, showcasing a lot of the things that are happening. I would assume that the brand ambassadors, are really trying to head that sort of stuff up. You're on Instagram, crystals_AF. And I see you posting all sorts of stuff. You've already had some fun little adventures that I've been able to follow you on. Instagram is so fun.
Absolutely. You really got it 100%. I want to say maybe 2-3 weeks ago, we had a whole bunch of global enthusiasts go to Dubai, and they kind of took over our Instagram for a while, and they were just posting, what they were doing. They actually got an opportunity to go visit the facility as well. And so we're really trying to have it be super interactive, community based. And actually you were featured on our Instagram stories quite a few times.
Yeah, I saw that. I felt good about myself when I saw that. Next time that these enthusiasts and these influencers go down to Dubai, I hope my name is on that list. Yeah, exactly. Be taking those notes, because if I get to take over the AF Instagram down there, there's going to be some fun times that happen. I guarantee you about that. That'd be a lot of fun, seeing different cultures and stuff like that. But I have really enjoyed what's been happening on Instagram and stuff like that. So kind of wrapping things up a little bit, what are some of those big changes that are happening at AF, and what do you want the community and people that are following this sort of stuff, what do you want them to know exactly about AF? Why are we excited about what AF is bringing to the table in 2020 and forward and beyond?
I think that we have been known as like a global leader, and I would say more of a traditional brand that everyone knows and loves. But I think this year our initiative is really to, like you said, push the boundaries, be more innovative, really be community based. And the website shows it, our Instagram shows it. And even with our events locally, we're trying to do as many events as possible. Yes, to promote, new flavors that maybe, fans didn't know about, but it's really to engage with the community. Like, we want to meet everybody, want to see what everyone's opinions are. When I started following you on YouTube, I'm like, okay, where else is he? So then I started following you on Instagram. We started kind of communicating back and forth organically. And I'm just like, I love to meet new people. And I think that's what really Fakher is trying to do, is just grow the community and let everyone know why we love this crazy thing that we do so much.
Very awesome. That's super exciting. I am absolutely excited to see what happens for the rest of 2020. I know it already feels like it's almost over. The fact that we're in the middle of March, it goes by so quickly. The Expo is right around the corner. There's so many exciting things happening and getting geared up for, and that's always really exciting. I feel like after the first quarter of the year is when you see a lot of things kind of ramp up when it comes to hookah. You see a lot of manufacturers creating new flavors, really trying to get their stuff out there. And I know a lot of people that have their eyes heavily on what is happening with AF. And the Expo coming up is going to be really exciting for that kind of stuff as well. Now, you say you're a mint smoker. You're a double apple gal as well. I want to ask you if there's been a mix of any sort that you've been hooked on recently that you just can't stop smoking. Is there something in particular that you've really been enjoying?
So I'm caught between two. I'm caught between 22, which is the tequila and an eucalyptus, because it's really fresh. And 86, it's the mulled wine with the grapes. I think that's what you're smoking. Those two have been my favorite so far. Honestly, anything with mint, double apple straight is great. But I'm really open to really all flavors. I don't think I've smoked something that I thought was like not my vibe, but.
Very cool. I'm gonna give you a mix, if you don't mind. A couple of my favorite Fakher flavors, and they don't get talked about nearly as much. So this is a flavor blending that I used to do a lot back in the day, but I think you might enjoy it. It has a little bit of the tartness to it. It has a little bit of the very fresh taste to it, and it has some mint in there as well. So my recommendation to you is to get Fakher Plum, which is an underrated flavor that not nearly enough people smoke. It is
love it. I love plum.
It is so good. Get Fakher Plum, mix it with Fakher Guava, which is also a fantastic flavor, and then put in a little bit of Fakher Grapefruit in there as well, and then mix it all together with some Fakher Mint. And it is a fantastic medley of flavors, because, you know, the plum has this really nice sweet juiciness to it. The grapefruit has a little bit of nice tartness to it. The guava is just this really nice tasting, like nectar style. And then you got the mint in there to balance everything out. So that is the mix that I would like to offer up to you, and hopefully you're able to try it. And I think you'd probably enjoy it as well.
So Matt, what's this mix called? What can we call it?
You know what? I've never thought about giving this mix a name, but I think I would have to go with something like Daily Cup of Fruits. Cup of fruits.
I like it.
A cup of fruits. There you go. That's the name. Yeah.
A couple of fruits, a cup of fruits. Yeah.
That's what we'll go with, if nothing else, at least for today, until we think of a better name, because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that's a terrible name, but we'll figure something out for it. But thank you guys so much for watching today's episode. I really appreciate everybody sticking around and enjoying the content. If there's other people you'd like me to talk to as well, please let me know. You can find me over on Instagram at Morning Hookah, right here on youtube.com/Morning Hookah. As always, where can people find you if they're looking for new information?
So for sure, I would suggest everyone to follow on Instagram, fakher.usa. And then if anyone's interested in following me and my shenanigans, it's Crystal _AF.
Very, very nice. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it so very much. This has been a very fun and informative episode, and I hope to have you on again in the future. If nothing else, when we meet up in Vegas, we'll have to do something fun up there as well. So thank you so much for being on the show today. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt. It was a good time. Appreciate it.
To everybody else, no matter if it's morning, afternoon, or night, I hope you enjoy what it is inside your bowl. And until next time, keep on smoking. Bye.
Bye.